and this one, right? Those are the ones that is gonna lock those things in perspective. But this negative space in there is also gonna be important for how the two lock together. So I have to sort of look at the both things and think about that. So what I'm checking with verticals, I'm looking for the alignment of those 2 points, and they're off vertical. They're not vertical. The vertical is right here. So this one is slightly off. I'm looking for those alignments and those alignments. So I want to see, as I'm checking those angles, I want to see how they relate, those two boxes relate to each other. All right, so I'm going to find those 2 points first. So let's say that my vertical line is here, between those 2 points. Then I have the top point that's slightly on the right of it, and this one is, maybe let's put it here. Something like that. All right. Then I'm going to start with this box down low. Okay, I'm going to go 11 o'clock is the angle for that line. And then I have, what is that? 230. About this, like this. And this one.
Start in the near corner.
I'm starting with the bottom one.
Yeah, I don't naturally start at the nearest corner, and I got screwed up from there.
Well, yeah. Because the perspective, I want to be able to push it, to change it up. But I want to keep this one at least somewhat with the right angles.
Yeah.
So I'm going to just double check it quickly. I also can do this, look. I angle it, then I go to mine. You see it? That's a quicker transition. If I do this, then I have to think, okay, 11 o'clock, and then I go here, 11 o'clock. With this one I have a visual, I can just transfer it. It's more convenient if I don't move it too much. If I don't do, I mean, this I can do. And this one is off a little. So we're a little more that way. Okay, then we see this one. This one is off. Okay. Okay, so I have this. Let's build this one, and then we worry about the top one. So now I got my angles. Let's say that those are correct, hopefully. And then the other one, I have to keep the idea of the perspective. Okay. So we have this one. If I make a parallel, I'm safe, but not great. If I make a parallel, I am safe, but it's not great. So I want to make that this segment is going to be shorter than this one. I don't want to touch that because I carefully check the angle of it. So I'm going to push this one off the parallel line up, so that I can make this one smaller than that. And same with this one down here. I'm going to push it up to make that one bigger than this one. Now, just for sake, if I want to see this angle, I want to check how much I did the mistake, how much I got it wrong. Well, it's not as extreme as I have it, but that's fine. I mean, I'd rather have a more emphasized perspective than less. I want to make a mistake towards the idea. Okay, I'm going to get this line. Let's make that parallel, and then we discuss. So that's parallel. I know it's not good enough, but that's fine. And let's put the parallel here that I know I will have to correct, but for now it's fine. As I'm doing this, I'm thinking this side is long, it's shorter than this side on the object, but given the perspective, it might not be. So then I'm gonna go check. So I want to see if this distance, and look at that, it's actually the same in my, if I go measure this and that, from my perspective, they're the same size, even though the object, I know it's not. But it's in perspective, this is way more foreshortened. So I'm gonna keep it the same. And what tells me is like I overshot my line, I was a little bit wide. Why? Because my brain was telling me this one is bigger. Okay, so you can go and check it. Then what do we have? We have that, oh, I need this one smaller than that, which it is, because this one is coming out. Oh, I need to find this corner. So the same kind of trick, I keep it safe and I'll keep them parallel, parallel. Okay, and then I decide, well, that's not good enough. I want to make it feel more in perspective. So I have to make this one smaller than this one. I don't want to touch this one. I'm going to touch this guy. I'm going to push it in. Also, I can push this one in. I'm going to find a point somewhere here. So now I have a box that looks like a box. It's in perspective towards the right idea. All I have to do is to build the one on top of this one, and for that I'm gonna keep my verticals to check alignments. Okay, so I'm gonna scan the object vertically from the left, and I'm gonna look at points. The first one bumps is the top left corner, then the bottom left corner, and then this one. So I have a corner that's somewhere here, the other one is somewhere there. I don't know the height yet. Don't worry about that. I know that this one's going to be somewhere here, that one's going to be somewhere there. From the right, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So this one is inside that, and then this one is inside even more. Okay, does this make sense? Where I was bumping corners, it was like a laser that's scanning, like tam, 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 tam. Then this one, and then the top one. So I was doing touch, 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 vertically, as you scan it through it. Okay, now let's check for, so realistically I have to really think where this one I put, because that's the corner of my main Y. So I'm gonna take a little closer look to this one, and I'm checking how does it compare with this guy here. And it's to the right of it, but not by too much. So if this one here, oh, I already knew, I already checked it before, didn't I? It was this line. That's what we did at the very beginning, right? So it's somewhere on this line. I just have to figure out the distance. I'll go measure it, why not? I mean, I have it. I'll measure this corner to that corner of my object. And then I compare it with something. It's about this. It's a little more than that. So what I did, I measured this one to this, oh, look at that, perfect size of the skewer. I measured this one to this one, and then I compare, and look at that, even there. I compare it with that diagonal. You're with me, you see it?
Yep.
All right, so, where were we? This one is about, so it's pretty much what we had. That's vertical, is somewhere here. So this is this corner right here. Now, I have to come down. Let's see the angle. And this is my main Y, so I really want to get the angle right. I step back, and I check the angle, and yes, I have it. It's about like that. Let me check this one. Somewhat like that, and I will check. Yeah, okay. So that's my, and this one, that's not vertical. That goes 11 o'clock. Well, 11. It goes up. It goes up like this. Double check. Okay. Now, where I'm going to stop this baby, I measure it, because otherwise I'm going to go, hopefully it fits. We'll see. So I'm going to go check it corner to corner, and then I compare it with something that I already have, right, with this one. And, oh, okay, that to that. Again, is about the right dimension that I'm looking for. Oof. Very immediately twitch. I totally meant it. You're lucky, see how you say it. All right, so, okay, now we have, oh, let me see where those points are, and I can either measure them with we already have actually the point, right? That was, I measured compared to this one, and here, I forgot which one was, but I measured that compared to this one. Let me double check. It's super super close to that. I'm gonna put it somewhere here. Now, before I call it good, I'm gonna go double check. So I'm gonna check this, and I'll compare it with smaller than that. This one, I know that I pushed it, so it's really not gonna be there. I just have to check it with those. And then this one, oh, this is huge. It's much shorter than that. Okay, let me check on the real object if I can find corner to corner there only. Okay, I have almost corner I measured. That one. So yeah, the corner to corner gave me that. Okay, not too off. This is telling me here. It's still to the left of that, so I'm safe. And so I'm gonna erase this one. Okay, so that's good.
So, when
Yes.
when you're measuring, you did that,
The first time I eyeballed it, and I was
Yeah.
like, I have to be to the left of this corner.
right,
Now I measured it there, and I was like, okay, on the original one, I have this segment that's the same from this corner to this corner.
and you just found another segment that was the same and put it after.
Yeah, it's all about relationship. And then if it's good enough, I call it good. If there's something off, and then I'm gonna question why this didn't line up with my drawing.
Okay.
This point, this is an extreme push towards the idea, so it's really not there. Okay? But it's gonna work good enough, I think. And then I will, for now I'm constructing it, then when it's done, I'm gonna check it again. So we close this one here, let's check this one. Okay, so this one to this one. Here I have a problem. Because I measured that, and I measured that, and it seems that it's the same size. Now I'm gonna double check because it doesn't add up. And I did a sloppy measurement. Good. Because that went off the idea. The idea was this point is to be to the left of that. I measured, and all of a sudden we're lining up. I'm like, ooh, I got a problem. So I went to double check, and it's like, my measure was off. Enough, they give me that. So I'm gonna remeasure it with a little more steady hand. Yes, so it's a little shorter than that. It's this short, which is hopefully enough. It's a little longer than that, but wasn't that long. So that's good enough. We go there.
So when you're measuring, you have to make sure you're always doing it from the same spot, like because if you're moving
measuring-
around a little bit.
Yes, if I and that you don't bend your elbow.
Right, okay.
So when I was clocking angles, I can move no problem because I'm just checking the angles. But it's a bad habit because if I'm saying, like, oh, I'm measuring this one and then I do that, and all of a sudden I'm comparing, like,
Yeah.
that's a problem. So yeah, you want to be in the same spot. Now I'm comparing only those two segments, right? So now I can take the same measurement down here and check, and still the relationship between the two is still gonna be the same.
Relationship. Okay. Yeah.
Problem is that when you start measuring, eventually everything gets in relationship with one segment, or the head for the torso and the legs, whatever, right? So you're better off being on the same spot and keep the elbow locked and the shoulder squared, because any of that is gonna change. All right, so where were we? So now I have my box. I should be able to build it just by virtue of perspective, right? Without building my parallel, I'm gonna just eyeball it. I know that I have to be coming towards this vanishing point down here with this line. So this one has to close in more than this one. I don't want it parallel, okay? I wanna come somewhere here. I don't wanna do it too much, somewhere reasonable. With this one, I don't wanna be parallel. I wanna be in. And then I got the point, and I just have to go up. I don't want to be parallel to this one. I want to go in. Oops, missed. Same thing here. I don't want to be parallel with this one. I want to go in. Before I call it good, I'm going to visually check this point vertical compared with this one, because right now with my drawing it falls to the left of it a little bit, well, the most on top of it. So let me check with this one. Yeah, with this one doesn't. Well, this one actually, the vertical together, so it sits right on top. But I don't want to do that. I want to have those cubes look more glorious. I want to look like a huge star shape in space. I want to accentuate the perspective. So I'm going to call it good. And this one, just out of curiosity, with where it sits, is the left of that one, I'm good with that. The left of that one, I'm good with that. And that's all I got. So with this one, I have less of a problem. Okay, all that's left now for me to build is find this guy here, right? Now that's gonna be problematic because let's locate it first where I see it. It's to the left of this guy somewhere here. Okay, so that's where I see it on there. But if this guy doesn't match my perspective, I'm gonna change it. I don't even care. Okay? So let's see. Let's draw the parallel first. Let's draw the parallel. Okay, so this will be the parallel, which means that this point beautifully helps me with this perspective. Oh yeah. This one not so much. I would like to push it a little more in. Oh, mine was in, hold on a second here. No, yes, because I have this one has to be smaller than that, and this one smaller than that. Okay, so with this point, given that line, no problem. With this one, I'm gonna push it slightly in. So the point is gonna be in. It's still at the left of that one. I'm good. I'm good with the drawing. It gets it. Let's find this center line, and then we call it good, and we take a look from far away. So I'm looking for the diagonal. It's gonna give me the center, and that's true in perspective of a square, or also when it's flat. So that's the beauty of it. Give us the center of the square in perspective as well, like it is right now. And then I will do a line. So the center line has to be those two. They're going to a vertical vanishing point up there. So this one should go to the same vanishing point. So I'm just trying to look for a line that's somewhat give us the same indication of direction toward the same vanishing point. So this might be a little too tilted. I'm gonna have to do a little more this way. A little more that way. Then we come all the way down here. And so those lines are an analogy with the sternum and the 10th rib for the rib cage, and here this would be the pelvis, this would be the iliac crest. The iliac crest, let's find the center here. And then this one will give me the opening of the pelvis. Okay, spine. Oh, sorry, the last thing, let's see where the spine is located. I'm gonna get the center of this. Line somewhere here is gonna be the, and then this one, and that one. Somewhere there is gonna be the attachment to the hose, and I have a little tail like this. Okay, perspective-wise, look at this. I'll leave it up with you with this one. So I have a cylinder, which I see this part is like a rigatone pretty much, right? So if, depending on my eye level, I'm looking down, it's gonna be here, and then it's gonna develop like this. The segmentation of that, if you had to add details, it would look something like that. Okay, does it make sense? Let me take a look. It's like, it's all wrong. No, it's pretty good. You notice how it's a lot more exaggerated in perspective, right? It looks much bigger object than this is. The same trick was used by Michelangelo. Like if you count the heads of Michelangelo's figures, they're much smaller than the 8 ratio head per body. So the idea is, because it was making these figures look like more heroic, right? So when you're drawing the figure, if you get the head smaller than it is, you're getting a mistake towards a Michelangelo, okay? If you get the head bigger than it is, you get a mistake towards the Japanese cartoons, the big bubble heads, the big dashboard. Okay, so more heroic, you get the idea of perspective, the figure will make it more muscular, etc. All right, yes?
Yes.
Va bene.